The semantic foundation for data transformation is the metadata. Each enterprise data sharing project should begin with a universal collection of semantic metadata that commonly defines all things in the enterprise. Exchange Builder provides this foundation. CDX is specifically designed for use in the justice, public safety, and criminal intelligence communities. A semantic metadata registry ensures that all new development projects are using the same components and definitions based on a reusable canonical XML model. The CDX Metadata Registry is based on the ISO standards, as was the GJXDM and NIEM naming conventions, and the canonical model provided can be augmented and localized for each enterprise within their own repository. The registry allows for consistent use and reuse of common domain artifacts. The ability to connect and federate registries and repositories allows for an enterprise-wide adherence to SOA governance principles. Let's look at the metadata registry. In principle, it contains a canonical model of all the logical structures and definitions for all persons, things, and activities described in justice information exchanges, including the domain-specific roles such as suspects, victims, and witnesses. Further, it maintains the inheritance and relationships that are possible or dependent between these entities and their roles. Separately, CDX Exchange Builder maintains relationship mappings to the equivalent elements and structures of the most common standards vocabularies, such as NIEM, LEXS, JRA, and GFIPM. The enterprise mission of managing SOA governance begins with the enterprise semantic metadata. The enterprise can manage definitions, add locally defined components to the canonical data model, and make the entire collection available to all constituents as common building blocks for projects across the enterprise. Using only an exchange vocabulary, such as NIEM, does not provide the lifecycle perspective required for SOA governance. Exchange Builder and its metadata registry provide the lexicon of logical objects and definitions for all perspectives in the enterprise, and they can be managed over time with an SOA governance model. Let's take a closer look at how the metadata is used. In the metadata registry, we see the full collection of atomic building blocks. In development, we can illustrate how this common enterprise collection of metadata objects can be selected through the business-driven requirements and emerging business needs to define and deploy new business artifacts, such as exchange documents, forms, reports, or even newly integrated enterprise applications and web services. From an atomic view, everything needed for defining and deploying an enterprise exchange or service is defined by increasingly complex structures, each built from the essential metadata objects. All are derived from combinations of atomic registry components. And for lifecycle management, each can be defined and tracked back to their source registry objects. Let's look at an example of defining a warrant document for exchange. In principle, the business needs will define what data objects are required for the exchange, the components that define the warrant object. In Exchange Builder, this is done at the logical level using canonical metadata. Next, when defining the physical representation of this new exchange model, the user chooses the current vocabulary they wish to employ for the physical exchange. For instance, a developer might choose the most recent version of NIEM. Exchange Builder automates the physical generation of IEPD artifacts, seamlessly connecting to the NIEM schema generation tools and returning the physical artifacts required for a conformant NIEM IEPD for this warrant exchange. Project components, as defined, are stored as XML collections in the metadata repository, where they can be tested, deployed, and managed over time across the enterprise.